Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rick Curl, sports writer here at the Greene County Daily World, along with my boss, the sports editor, B.J. Hargis.
How we doing?
And today we're going to preview Indiana high school basketball for this weekend, which is the weekend of December 4th.
Oh, bear with us. It's been a long time since we've been in front of the camera. So this weekend, boys, there's 9 games on the schedule. On Friday night, Clay City's at Union, Linton Stockton's at Owen Valley, Mitchell at Eastern Green, Shakamak's at Bloomfield, and White River Valley plays at South Knox. All of them will start at 6 o'clock with the JV tipping, except for the Linton and Owen Valley game, which is a 6:30 start. That's a little bit different than the schedule originally had listed. On Saturday, Bloomfield and Linton in a big SWAC battle. Eminence is at Union Duggar, Mitchell's at White River Valley, and Sullivan will visit Shakamak. All of those tip off at 6 o'clock. The only girls game on the schedule this weekend is Bloomfield at, I'm looking at my watch here, hey, what can I say? Bloomfield at Union Duggar, which is at noon. Rick, you want to comment on the girls game before we start with the boys?
Well, Bloomfield comes into the game with Chris Hitchcock's second year, heavily favored in this contest, I'm sure, if things are correct. Benji Boyd, last time out, his girls struggled a little bit against South Knox. Played, well, didn't play the best, but not the worst, but it wasn't enough to really get him a win. Benji just wants him to keep getting better before the year's out, and at the rate he's going now, I believe he'll get that, he'll accomplish that goal. Chris Hitchcock of Bloomfield, he's got a good group of girls on his hands, and he's got a good group of girls that are slowly making their way through and up the process, including Allie Gilliland, the county's leading scorer by 1/10 of a point. She comes into the game averaging 15.6 points a contest, and she looks to be one of the best in the area, so we'll have to wait and see what happens on that one.
Okay. Boys games, like I said, I'm just basically reading the same thing that you can see on our website, gcdailyworld.com. Let's see what we got here. Clay City, they began the season with a 48-53 win over South Vermilion last week. This is the second season for Vance Edmondson as coach, who was an assistant previously at North Central. In their win over South Vermilion, Tyler Bridgewater scored 21 points to lead the Eels. Eminence, the other Eels in this scenario, they played one game and lost 69-54 at Monrovia last week. Union Duggar, ironically, played more games than anybody else. They played 4 out of the gate, including that tournament at Springs Valley last weekend. They're coming off a 51-36 setback at North Knox. Tyler Talpas, boy, he is burning it up, leading the county in scoring at 23 points a game, including, what, 25?
Had 25 Tuesday night at North Knox. He was pretty much the offense for Clarence Johnson and for the Bulldogs.
And that's what Clarence is saying, you know, that it's pretty much, he knew that Tyler was going to be maybe his leading scorer, and he's still hoping to get some help, including people like Ethan Fettig to step up, maybe Seth Campbell and some other people in their lineup. Now this is Rick's quote from the game. This is Clarence speaking. He said he told the kids after the game to keep their heads up. Things are getting better and things are starting to come around. Things are looking better, so we just can't give up on what we're trying to do, and hopefully they'll find some success. Last year, I talked to Clarence earlier in the week, and he commented that they played pretty well with Clay City last year. They're hoping to do the same, and he said that Eminence still has a couple of kids back. They beat the Bulldogs 61-53. That game was also at Duggar. There was a flip-flop in the contract, so they're playing 2 straight years at Duggar in that series. Let's see, Clay City's won 14 of the last 23 meetings with Union, and the Bulldogs have a 10-6 advantage in their series over Eminence. Shakamak, ironically, while Duggar's played 4 games, Shakamak has played none. They'll open this weekend with a pair of games at Bloomfield on Friday night, and then they will host Sullivan without Rhett Smith on Saturday night. He has somebody said he has 10 pins. Rhett Smith is 6'7".
Yeah.
Is he a junior, I think?
I think he's a junior this year.
He has 10 pins and 2 fingers on his non-shooting hand that he's hopefully going to get out in about 3 weeks. And
prognosis, the last prognosis I'd heard from secondhand sources was he was hoping to make the Wabash Valley Classic, but probably won't. So.
Anyway, Shakamak, pretty experienced team. They lost a ton of players, including Billy Newtons, who's at Oakland City right now, Tyler Richardson. They had a really nice club last year. But Justin Crody and Brock Dowell are the 2 most experienced Lakers who will be heading into this weekend's game at Bloomfield. Brett said, obviously, I talked to him at the Wabash Valley Classic draw, and he said it's really time for them to play, and he knows that Bloomfield's got a lot of kids who can score, and he said Sullivan still will be a very formidable opponent, despite the fact they won't be playing without Smith, I mean. The Arrows play Friday night against Brown County before they travel to Shakamak. They're 1-0. They defeated South Knox 52-43 last week. The Cardinals, they're 1-1 overall, having played both games in the conference, beating Union Duggar and losing at Eastern Green. Ben Hayes averages 13 points a game, Drake Van Devender 11-5, and Ryan O'Neill and Bryce Lindsey both at 10-5 for the Cardinals. This is just after 2 games, obviously, and it would be great if they could keep 4 guys in double figures, but you don't think that's probably going to happen.
I don't think that's possible through the long grind of a high school season, but we'll wait and see, I guess.
John Boer, he had said he's kind of pleased with the effort of his club, but he said defensively they've got to do a better job. Eastern had quite a few open looks in the paint in that 83-61 victory by the Thunderbirds Saturday night at Little Cincinnati, our favorite city.
Yes.
Anyway, last year Shakamak defeated Bloomfield 65-56, but in the last 21 meetings, the Lakers have only prevailed 5 times against Bloomfield. Sullivan beat Shakamak last year 64-52, and they've won 12 of the last 16 meetings with the Lakers. Bloomfield and Linton, it's a rivalry, and it's certainly been more of a rivalry lately. The Cardinals have won 3 in a row in 3 of the last 5, and I think a lot of people know between 1983 and 2004, Bloomfield beat Linton 32 straight times. I mean, it was one of those freaky things after the 82 sectional championship game, which Bloomfield beat Linton in triple overtime. Or it was the 83 that started the streak. It was in 83. Linton, actually, their last sectional title was in 82. And actually, Bloomfield has a 61-16 advantage in that series dating back to 1951. Before that, I don't have those numbers right now. Let's see. Linton will take on Owen Valley on Friday night, and Owen Valley has won the last 15 meetings in the series. Joey Hart commented that the Miners have a very challenging weekend. Bloomfield has some kids that can score, and traditionally Owen Valley's a very good program.
And just for comparison, Owen Valley fell to Eastern Green in the opener, so, we'll see.
It was 32-28 at halftime,
yeah.
But Eastern pulled away and I think won by 23 points
in
that one. And you can talk about maybe the North Knox Linton game where the Miners prevailed.
That was a game where we found out real quick that the majority of Linton is when it comes down to being physical, the majority of the blows will be taken by Austin Carazia and Des Fugers, and against North Knox, they were pretty solid on handling the inside banging. But of course, Joey Hart gave a lot of credit to his second team for putting that physical pressure on him in practice and getting him ready for it. So look for this one to probably be just as physical, and look for Fugers and Carazia to be the keys for Linton. Look for Bloomfield to try and stay away from them and maybe go at it, shall we say.
I think we're running a little short on time here, or a little long on time, I think. Mitchell will ironically play both at Eastern and at WRV over the weekend. Andy Eigel said it's hard not to be pleased with the scoring, but he said he was looking for more consistency with the defense. JT Yoho's averaging 22 a game coming off the 36-point game against the Cards. Zach Johnson at 17.5. Davis Russell and Ray Darnell, the center transfer, they're also averaging double figures. Eastern, Green, and Mitchell have split the last 16 meetings. WRV, which has started 0-2, Cole Goodman averaging 18.5 points a game. He had a double-double in the loss at Reveille on Saturday. Let's see. Last year, WRV prevailed over South Knox 59-58 in 2 overtimes, that game being on Saturday down there. South Knox the 8-7 advantage in the series. And that's about it for this first adventure into video land by yours truly. Thanks for listening, and we'll be seeing you down the road. Thanks.